Dynasty Football Podcast. It's the Dynasty Podcast with the league to follow along with. I'm Brett Still, and I'm joined, as always, by the GM of the Elkview River Rats, Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes. How are you doing, sir?
Yo. Great. How about them Lions, baby? Woo!
You see that I, once again, am a man that pays his debts in my fresh Roy Williams Lions jersey. That's a high school craze that didn't quite come to fruition. But you might also be able to see right now, we have a special guest host this week. It's the Kanawha County Kings GM, Mr. Tim McCarthy. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm like those freaking Cowboys.
Oh, well, we're definitely getting to the Cowboys. But first, we have KDFL Week 3 results to dive into. And as our special guest host, Tim, take us away.
Oh, we go to Hurricane. The Mega Powers are 0-2. The Wampus Cats are 0-2. The Mega Powers' abysmal wide receivers scored less than 25 points with 4 of them in a hole that no one could recover from. Herbert goes for 400. Ken Walker is the guy, but is Derrick Henry. Wampus Cats win 269-193 for their first win of the season, and the Mega Powers to their first ever 0-3 start that I did not fact check.
Fact check confirmed.
Next we have 2 Dunbar OGs going at it as Roxalana heads over to Dogtown. And the Roxalana Renegades try to keep their perfect season going. Yes, we're only 3 weeks into the season. They get a big game out of Tua, 33 points. Didn't really get too much out of their offense, mostly defensive points. The Dobermans didn't get a whole lot from their defense, which kind of let them down. They only scored 212 points, and they are the 3rd lowest scoring team so far, and now fall to 1-2 as the Renegades win 245-212.
All right, we head to Kanawha County next, where the Marmot Midnight Riders coming off their looking for, my apologies, their first win of the season, had to take on the Kings. Kaiser White leads all scorers for the Kanawha County Kings with 28. Justin Fields, off to a rough go, leads the quarterback position with a whopping 11 points for the Midnight Riders. Kenny Pickett helps the cause for the Kings with his first 2 TD touchdown game of his career with 21 points of his own. But the story of this game has to be the Midnight Riders going Talladega 5 wide in their lineup. It's KDFL first to go 5 wide intentionally. We have Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, and Deebo Samuel combining for 172 points. I'm sure there's some stats out there about how that did versus other teams' total scoring, but we don't have them. So the Midnight Riders get the victory, 297-265.
There we go. The 0-2 Zen Masters going down to Cross Vegas Gamblers, the 1-1. Lamar and the class of 2020 linebackers lead the Zen Masters this week, while Grease Hall may not be who y'all thought he was. The Jones boys put up an embarrassing 17 points combined at quarterback for the Gamblers, and some big points on the bench with Mims, Thielen, and Devin White. Might be some coaching errors there. The Zen Masters improved to 1-2 and bring the Gamblers down to 1-2 as well.
Next, we have the South Hills Evil Empire heading over to my town, Elkview River Rats, for the battle of first place in their division. This game was an absolute shootout. For me, Mostert has 45 points. Mike Williams, 25 points. Jordan Love, 25 points. Everybody just scoring like crazy. The Evil Empire had big games from Mahomes, Chase, Jalen Hurts, and edge out. With praying for stat correction right now. But as of right now, the Evil Empire go to 2-1, win 278-275.
And finally, it is our Week 3 game of the week. We head to Wake Forest as the shocking 2-0 Lumberjacks are hosting the 2-0 Sinners. And it is everybody's favorite, Kirk Cousins, who gets the Sinners started off hot early with 28. And tell me this isn't a sad sign for your team when Mr. Joshua Dobbs leads all scores for the Lumberjacks with 18 of his own. Antoine Whitfield on Monday night tried to do his best to keep Wake Forest on a winning streak with 16 points, but the linebacker pair of Levante David and Foye Lucan combining for 42.5 put the Sinners over the top. They improved to 3-0, winning 235 to 170. And that is it for your week 3 KDFL scores. Real quick, let's go into how we did as a podcast with our picks. A much better week. Detroit, that was perfect. 6-0 on his picks. Matt and I each go 5-1. Big Daddy D. We each go 5-1. The Stealing Money parlay misses for the second time this season, thanks to those Dallas Cowboys. We said it was a tough week for upsets. That proved to be the case. We went 0-3 on upsets. Detroit hit his lock of the week with Miami, just barely hit it. Miami minus 6.5. I hit Pittsburgh plus 2.5. And old Matt hit a cold spell, missing out on the Rams pick by 0.5 point as he had Rams plus 2.5. Now, final thing to put a bow on KDFL week 3. We look at the famous PAP statistics that we have brought into the league this year. The River Rats become the first team to be number 1 on points above expectation with 55, but still lose their matchup. Huge high scoring affair in that one as he just went over. The Renegades came the closest to the projections, going 5.5 points over. And we said it, the bright lights of the game of the week struck the Lumberjacks as they fall 41 points shy of expectations. And the interesting fact, the league as a whole, there is no way we'll ever get this close again. 0.2 points away from projections as a league on a whole. That's insane.
Wow.
That's truly insane.
That's pretty cool.
I act like it's like some good feat, like we did something. Yes. Okay.
I mean, maybe the projections aren't so wrong.
Yeah. All right,
They were
boys.
for my team.
There is KDFL week 3. And as part of what happened this last week, let me just say, and we'll throw a few of these in throughout the podcast. Did you guys know that the first ever game the Detroit Lions played was on September 23rd, 1934, and the Lions beat the New York Giants 9-0.
Nice.
All right.
I love that.
Let's get it back.
Fact.
Let's get back.
Very good.
Last 2020, I sang the song with Todd Gurley scoring too many points. I didn't have nothing to do. I have the jersey. We'll throw some Lions facts throughout this podcast. Just keep me honest and make sure I don't forget. Now, as far as the NFL games, we will start. We start in chronological order, so we'll just hit on some quick stuff here. Thursday night football, we had the Niners just destroy the Giants. And this podcast predicted that with Ayuk out, Kittle would have a big game. And of course he did. And I think that is the narrative you're going to have all year. There's too many mouths to feed for Brock Purdy, and when you factor in McCaffrey as well, for all of these weapons to always have big games. So I think when one is out, the other two, when you're talking about Ayuk, Kittle, Debo, the other two are just smashes.
Yeah,
for sure.
I saw Brock threw for over 300 yards in that game. How many times do you think he's going to do that this year? Because
12.
It doesn't
12
seem
more
like. Well, I mean, I know he's on your team.
Full disclaimer here.
My cat's going to knock over my picture back there. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But no, they're definitely going to be a run first team. I don't see him getting more than like 2 or 3 more. It's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, but he's gonna be dumping off to CMC and Debo all the time too. So those are going to count as reception yards and passing yards. So I think he'll get over 300 quite a few more times.
Oh, nice. Damn.
This is the CNBC stock ownership thing where, full disclaimer,
yeah.
Kanawha County King Brock Purdy is projected by the Kanawha County Kings to go over 300 yards multiple more times. Five's
more
reasonable, I feel.
Not,
I feel like
not
that's
two,
reasonable.
not 3.
Yes.
Oh,
We'll throw it in the preview again.
Yeah, throw that in the preview.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I love it. That's all I had
Back
from
to the Lions'
go
first
ahead.
ever game. They have been kicking field goals since the dawn of football, apparently. 9-0. The most important player on the team, maybe, is the field goal kicker.
Exactly, man.
That's it.
We've had
we
some
can
great
segue.
Yeah.
We could segue right into it because I don't have anything else on Thursday night. It was kind of a bad game. It was great if you're a Niners fan. Not much from fantasy outside of Kittle, Purdy, and I guess Debo had a decent game as well. But Kittle, Purdy, and CMC, of course, 5 wide. That was man. We could talk about Lions Falcons real quick. Sam Laporta.
Why is it gonna be real quick?
I mean,
We should talk about this. I mean, we
don't think it'll be real quick.
Yeah, we gotta get in depth.
I mean, like I said, the biggest positive was it was a fairly boring game. Like, gladly so.
Hey, I was there live in person watching that beautiful, beautiful game. It was pretty much a defensive battle.
I never thought you'd say that.
At no point in that game did I think the Lions were really were in trouble or were gonna lose that game.
I would agree. The interception.
Yeah, the interception, and he talked about that after the game. He said that might have been the worst interception he's thrown in his career.
It wasn't a misread; he just sailed it, I think.
Yeah, he said he just lost it.
Yeah.
What killed the Lions in that game were penalties. I think they had like 11 penalties or something in that game for 120 yards. It was pretty bad. Every time they would get decent field position, the first play would be a holding, blocking the back. They got after your boy Ritter a lot, 7 sacks.
38 throws.
And technically he dropped back to throw it 45 times, and really. So I was not expecting that in that game.
I don't even think we gave the Lions the opportunity to shut down the run. Like, I think we just voluntarily shut it down.
Yeah.
Because we had some decent runs.
How many targets did Bijan have?
Bijan did not have too many because everybody was complaining about him pretty fiercely. I can get his targets.
For Ritter to have 41 sacks and 38 attempts.
Look,
Bijan
we'll go into this
12.
later in the preview, but Kyle Pitts had 9 targets in this game.
Yeah, he did.
Bijan should have had 12, probably. Easy.
He had 6.
Dump offs.
He had 6 targets. Yeah.
That's not enough if you're throwing it 38 times.
He only ran the ball 10 times. So,
but
Algier was getting. Yeah. Algier was getting more looks than I thought he would.
I think we really need to talk about, though. Atlanta was scared because on the other side of that field, you had Brian Branch. He was just all over the field in that game.
What is the green thing?
I don't know. Jeff, my buddy that I was at the game with, says it's his mouthpiece, but I don't think that's right.
It's like you would normally you see the sticker for obviously he's not the head linebacker, you know what I mean? He's not the mic, but that's what it makes me think of. But we're going to sound so dumb because it's probably something so obvious, but he makes it so easy for me to track him on the field.
I mean, he was the first player to have 11 tackles, 3 for loss, and 2 pass deflections in the history of the NFL. Or no, since 1994. My bad.
Brian Branch has kept his green mouthpiece in one of the holes of his helmet since college.
Oh.
So it's it's an Allen Iverson or Steph Curry situation.
Don't you have to have it in your mouth? I thought that was
he should be wearing one.
Oh, okay, that's true. But
if I'd have known that, he would have went way sooner than 45. What a deal!
He's a future Hall of Famer. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, his points are 18.5, 6, and 23.5. So now, if you're trying to make this relative to everybody, but if you're a Brian Branch owner in IDP fantasy, you have to put him in every game. He's probably going to give you some 4-point games, 5-point games. But the fact that this is a potential upside, he has to be in there. If this is possible,
Well,
gotta be
yeah,
in the game.
especially they like to bring him in on the line a lot of times and use him as a blitz. So he's going to get some tackles.
You're
some
not going to trick
sacks.
me this week because last week you asked me if you're talking to me mega powers, and I've already done it now with our second game we've talked about. I've already hit the mega power. I'm not going to do it this week. All right.
Well, we can
Anything
talk
else
about
on
Laporta.
Lions Falcons?
Yeah,
Oh,
Laporta.
Laporta. He
Sam
caught a very good
Laporta.
pass on blown coverage. It looked beautiful.
He has 18 receptions in his first 3 games, and that is a record for NFL tight ends. So just thought I'd throw it out there.
Me deciding between Roshan Johnson and and Sam Laporta, and then realizing Kendre Miller was out there still, it might get me because I'm struggling with tight end.
Who ended up getting him? Was it Eric? Or I mean the
Phil.
Renegades?
Renegades.
Oh, the
Sorry, I did.
Lumber-
You got me
Lumberjacks.
too. Yeah.
The
We
Lumberjacks.
know who's to blame. It's
Yep.
your buddy Doug's fault from Verizon.
Special advisor.
He said who is Sam Laporta?
Yeah,
That's
that's
when we
right.
knew we were in trouble.
I forgot
And
all
you were
about
like,
that.
well, I'm not gonna pick him then.
There we go. No, I didn't know Kendre was still out there, and I pick a Saint, and I deserve. Well, we'll see. We don't know what Kendre is going to do yet.
But,
All
right, we don't have to talk about this game anymore. I'm sorry.
No, real
I know it
quick,
hurt
we can move on to. I just liked it. It was boring. It's so sad, the expectations. I like that nothing stupid or crazy happened. Just a normal football contest.
Yeah. Gibbs
you
did
guys-
look pretty decent, by the way.
Hey, you think?
In that fourth quarter, he came on. He
When they
started
lose
to-
him, right?
What?
Don't slam him up the middle. Like, he's not Ingram. He's Kamara. Use him like Kamara.
I agree, but I think the Falcons they had someone on him the entire time. Every time he'd come out of the backfield, they wanted to shut him down coming out of that backfield.
Yeah.
Still.
It's so Gibbs has been frustrating a little bit. Yeah.
But before we leave the lines, we got Brian Branch right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up.
He's available in that one. Wow.
Yeah, he is no longer available. He is now a member of the Dunbar Dream Team, baby.
I like it.
Let's go. Richie Grant, you Falcon loser. You're gone, and Brian Branch.
Oh, you cut Richie Grant for that?
You Falcon loser. You're done.
Shout out Richie
Tim
Grant.
just won him a championship.
What was on? Oh, do you guys know the only wide receiver, without looking at the doc again, the only wide receiver in NFL so far that has 8 receptions in each game? It's kind of been very surprising.
It is.
My first guess would be St. Brown.
Well, that's just a homer body right there. I mean, the guy.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, my goodness. I never seen anything like it. Michael Pittman Jr., 8 catches, over double-digit targets in each game, and 8 catches, which everybody thought you bring into given. I mean, we had Minshew for a game and 3 quarters now. So you bring in a rookie quarterback, you worry about your wide receiver one's participation targets, things like that dropping way down. But so far, Pittman has been pretty studly, and so have the Colts with the upset over the Ravens. That was in the Stealing Money parlay. I should have probably not juiced that as much, but here we are. What do we think? I mean, the AFC South is going to be like the NFC South. It's going to be wide open.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, why can't the Colts?
Yeah, their defense is really good. And if
The
Richardson.
defense is better than expected. And if Richardson
at all.
Yeah.
No, I obviously didn't get to watch any of this game, but did Minshew look better than Richardson?
Well, we don't know what Richardson's look like yet. Like, he runs. I mean, he's like Minshew.
Well, did the Colts look better on offense? Is what I'm saying.
I wouldn't
didn't
say
see
so.
the game.
I wouldn't say so. No.
Okay.
No, it
think
was sloppy
fine.
at times. Yeah, Richardson's been fine,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I think
I'm
he's
just
in line to
saying with
start.
him-
He's just
with
got to
him
stay healthy.
quarterback, he's playing well. They could put almost anyone at running back, and they're good to go
Yeah.
because they're going to run options. They're going to run a lot of Richardson runs.
We don't need to talk about Zach Moss at all. No,
The
not at
time
all.
could be coming to an end for Mr. Moss. Like Jonathan
25-year-old
Taylor,
workhorse.
we don't know. Jonathan Taylor, I mean, this is his last week.
He was at
But
4
he's-
games.
Yeah. But he's been adamant. I mean, it's been back and forth. He's been adamant that he's not going to play for the Colts. But he also, I don't know what other options you have. Like,
Is he going to give up whatever millions of dollars
right, I know.
to sit out like Le'Veon? Le'Veon's the only player that's really big name.
And
That's done that,
Le'Veon
right?
has recanted on said decision. Said he wish he hadn't done that.
Yeah, you think he missed out on like $12 million or more, didn't he? It was something crazy.
Tim's ability to just pick a number is just baffling.
Well.
Just, let me get that.
Could be worse. You could be like Mel Tucker, throw it all away. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This guy.
Sorry,
This guy.
that was a shot.
Dynasty Fantasy Podcast.
I had to take a
And we
shot.
somehow got to all right. Does Jameson coming in for Carr mean anything to the Saints offense? Does it change a thing? Better, worse?
I don't know.
About the same.
Yeah,
More
I'm glad-
risky.
I'm glad Matt's not on this show because I'm just not a believer in Carr, and he's a river rat. So I don't know. He's not lived up to what I thought he was going to be. The Saints, they're going to be in every game because of that defense. But you saw what happened. But you did have to see what happened when Carr left that game. Packers came back.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, you get the high risk, high reward with Jameis.
I do agree that aspect.
He's not going to do anything wild.
Yeah.
No.
But we'll see a lot of Taysom Hill now, too. I think we'll see a 70-30 split maybe between the two.
I could see that.
We have Kamara coming back as well.
Yeah.
He was already getting 1 out of 10, probably, Taysom Hill snaps.
Yeah, he was.
I think that's a huge mistake. I've always said this. It's not my Saints hate. I think it messes up the offense. I think it screws the flow.
Yeah. Sometimes it does, but sometimes he gets those 12.
I mean, he gets good plays. I get it. I'm probably just being a blind hater right now. But
I'm looking at the box score, and he only had 4 carries, no throws, and he only had 1 target, 1 reception.
Taysom?
Yeah, so it's a little surprising.
I thought I saw him throw the ball, but maybe not. That might have been 2 games ago.
Yeah.
2 games he tried to hit Carr on a deep ball and something pass breakup or something happened or a penalty or something.
So I take it back. Apparently the Saints might be better with Carr in the lineup.
I mean, small sample. Jameis wasn't prepared to go in.
Well, he's a professional. He should be prepared to go.
The Packers have a tough pass defense. They're usually a run funnel defense, but all right. Now
we'll see this game.
Texans.
Boy.
The Texans go into Jacksonville and embarrass the Jags. This is a fact. CJ Stroud continues to impress. He's the lead odds for Rookie of the Year. So my question is, what would you pay to get CJ Stroud right now? What do you think you'd have to pay to get him? You still don't want him?
I sent AJ Dillon and Elijah Moore to Jeremy the other day. And he was
what can you realistically pay? I'm glad we got that on tape.
First of all, I hate every single one of you because you kept telling me to take Young over CJ.
Nope.
Oh, no, that's right.
That's
right, Tim. Tim didn't. That's right. Tim did tell me.
We both agreed that Stroud was the pick.
Yeah.
You picked Price.
I know. I did. Yep. I should have
told you
back-to-back quarterbacks.
I think I told you that I was even going to let Stroud drop to Jeremy. It might have been Bustin. I told that.
Well, the Evil Empire and the Wampus Cats.
However, I did see the stat earlier today. I have to pull up. With CJ Stroud getting a win this week, the Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL since 2000 are overall 19-48. That is their win.
I would imagine almost any college has a losing record. Well, Michigan won't.
Yeah, I was going to say
that was a bold statement I just threw out before I thought about it a little bit more. Because Michigan most certainly won't.
I mean, we had.
But Michigan's had some bad.
Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Jim
Michigan's
Harbaugh.
had. I'd be interested in how many schools are plus Like with a minimum of what 50 games? How many schools are plus?
I don't know.
Over 500.
Let's
Can't
get
be
our
that
stat-
many.
hey, let me get Phil, our stat guy, on that. Can you get back to
I
us?
love it if the camera panned and the captain was just sitting there with a yellow raincoat and hat on. All right,
No.
all right. Would you do these deals? You have CJ Stroud. Would you take an early 2024 first?
Well, it depends. Oh, yeah, I definitely would.
You
Absolutely.
would? No questions asked?
Yes.
This is debatable. See,
Well,
Tim
it's
says
keeping
no.
Stroud. I'm keeping Stroud.
Guys.
You're talking about
Are
Caleb
we
Williams?
saying we're saying we think CJ after one really good game? Was
Not
it
one.
I mean, I didn't get to see it.
Had some decent not very good preseason, but he's looked decent enough for that terrible team. That team is not good. It's not built to win. So
Which
if
is
he
great.
doesn't look like absolute dog crap, then he looks good, basically.
I don't know. I'm still not a 100% believer, and we are just talking about 3 games.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
I don't
But
know.
I mean, this 2024 first has 0 games.
Yeah, I'm going with Stroud.
It's not even a number yet.
We know Stroud's in the game. He's a quarterback. We're in a super flex league. You need 2 quarterbacks and at least 1 backup. So I'm keeping Stroud, and I'll draft someone with my own first. Obviously, I don't need any first, but I mean, he's got plenty.
All right, I got 3 more.
I would trade Jaron one of those first for him right now if he wants. Go on.
Evil Empire. Yes. Garrett Wilson.
What about him?
You have CJ Stroud. Somebody offers you Garrett Wilson.
Oh.
No, I think quarterbacks are more valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be depending on your quarterback situation.
It's coming from the guy that
Stroud.
doesn't obviously value wide receivers very much on his team. So.
Okay. I can switch it up, and I got 2 running backs here. Jahmyr Gibbs.
For who? For CJ?
You have CJ? The scenario doesn't change, Detroit, until I change the scenario.
Yes, you would make that deal, of course.
I'll take Gibbs.
Evil Empire offers you, you want Gibbs, as you're saying. I flipped it on you, my bad, because you do have Gibbs right now. So now I did it. I myself. You have Stroud. Somebody offers you Gibbs. You take Gibbs. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And
I'll take
assume
Gibbs. Gibbs and a 2nd round pick. Yeah, I'll take him.
It's not. This is just later picks. Nobody values later. I mean, second's not bad, but nobody values later picks more. And I'm assuming it would take Breece Hall and what to get you to move off Stroud?
Breece Hall.
Yeah, man, you guys are way too low. This is not me.
I've never been a believer. And then after they got Dalvin, Aaron Rodgers is hurt. It's just all bad. Andy's a Jet, the same old Jet.
How dare you?
Ooh.
Just Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin's the last good running back.
Tomlinson for a cup of coffee.
In his golden years.
He was on Lifetime for the Jets.
What they have, Favre and Tomlinson at the same time or something?
Wow, dude, that's history. And I don't know if that's true or not. We're just gonna throw stuff out, but if that is, that Rodgers stuff is even more insane.
Rodgers and Cook.
I know he's got a very small sample size. He's played 10 games, and his career rushing average is 5.8 yards a carry. That's pretty
he's
good.
Crazy explosive.
All right.
Sure.
I have stuff that suggested to even out this trade. So we have CJ Stroud. Somebody offers us Breece Hall. They offer us Breece Hall in a late 2026 second. That sounds awful to me. Breece Hall and Zay Jones. That sounds awful to me. Tim with the Zay Jones love.
That's really I'm with the side. I'd rather have the 2nd round pick.
No. Breece Hall and Elijah Mitchell. Can they interest you?
I think we've done enough of this discussion.
I would take
Don't cut my segments. All right. We got another one coming. We got one more player coming to this. That's my favorite thing to do on this show. My favorite thing to do. All right. Next. Let's keep staying in the 1:00 games. The Dolphins. I don't really know what else.
Woo!
Devon Achane, Detroit. Put this in your brain. Devon Achane is his name now.
Achane is looking good.
Yeah, go on. I know you couldn't.
I was going through the Dolphins fantasy points for this week. I mean, listen to these points: Tua 32, Mostert 45, A-Chain 51,
H-Chan.
and
Respect the man.
Hill had 30
Terrible.
points. A-Chan, is that what it is?
Yes, I'm going to start
H-Chan?
calling you Detroit, which is the way it's supposed to
That's
be
fine.
pronounced.
Yeah.
Jackie A. Chan.
Yeah,
I mean, just some crazy fantasy points out there. That Dolphins team is nice. I saw a thing today where could they be the next team to score 600 points in the season like that Peyton Manning Broncos team did? They do get an extra. They do get an extra.
That's a
They didn't even
special
have
place.
Waddle.
That's a
Yeah.
special place in
They
the
didn't
heart,
even
that
have
team. Yeah, no Waddle.
Why is that a special place in your heart?
Because I had Manning and Decker stack, and it was just you just didn't have to worry about a game. It's so wild not to worry about football.
But
Because every
that's
time
the-
they were just go, go, go.
that's the year they got murdered in the Super Bowl, though, right?
That is that year, yeah. But
That goes to prove
It's gotta
defense is
be-
better than offense.
yeah, this has to be the best offensive, because I know defensive players. I don't know if any defensive players ever got 51. But this has to be the best. This probably will go down as the best performance ever. It was on the bench for 99%. He was on the bench in Lake Forest. If he's on the
Has to
bench
be.
there, he's on the bench everywhere. Because I mean, you'd have to be in some wild situation. Like you'd have to have like.
I don't think he'll be on the
Taylor, I
bench
mean-
too much longer because
No, he's already in the Lumberjack starting line, but that's going to be a
Well-
problem because he's going to
well,
goose you.
Mostert-
He's going to, yeah,
most are known to get hurt too. So
right. But he's going to, until something like that happens, you still have Jeff Wilson could be coming back. I mean, he's his
Yeah.
fourth week on IR. You're going to be
It's Mostert A. Chance. Mostert's not coming off.
I like that.
Mostert's not coming off the field unless A. Chan's coming in. Basically, Mostert's the man still.
Yeah, he did get a
I mean,
lot of catches in that game
It's
too.
not like he had a bad game. Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
The Twisted Tea, official sponsor of the Kanawha County Kings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to be in the lap. He's similar to, like, I mean, it's on steroids, but you have to start him every week because it's what's possible. Now, he might never do that. He obviously, the betting odds are he never comes close to that ever again. But he's going to be in the Lumberjacks lineup now, especially that team. And he did. I mean,
It's
the
not hard
Lumberjacks,
to crack that one up. So.
I bet they
He's gotta
continue to
start.
just have smashed
lot of
that
other
draft.
Don't listen to that, Phil. Don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
He's over there compiling stats, and you're killing the captain. I mean,
Well, just ignore
Bijan,
me, buddy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 draft picks this year in that starting lineup on the offensive side. There's only 9 starters
He
on
killed
offense.
the So far,
Right
he's
now, it's
done
looking great.
But
Yeah.
it's coming back to earth, I think, with Puka and a couple of these other guys. I think they'll chill out a little, but maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Because Cup's gonna eventually come back for the Rams anyways.
They're saying week 5.
Yeah.
They're trying right now, week 5, to push him back. They're increasing his workload this week with a possible week 5 return. Now, your number 2 overall quarterback in the KDFL, Mr. Kirk Cousins, puts in 28 points on 367 and 3 against the Chargers. Gentlemen, how long can this ride last? Do we think it's here to stay? Do we still believe that they will actually try to shop him if the Vikings don't start winning?
No.
Well,
I think they'll wait till the offseason. Unless
if the
someone
right
just
suitor comes along in
Yeah.
week 8, 9, 10, 11, when if they're 1 and they're 2 and 7.
well, I think
Well, he's out of contract. So if they
They
get
could
the
deal
offseason, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah, they get nothing or they sign him.
It's a weird situation
I think
because
he-
it's like, why do you want to move on?
Well, the
Yeah, I
trade
don't
deadline
know.
is week 8. So
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good call. Week 8, we're going to see.
I think it's just a bunch of. I just think it's a bunch of people just talking about the trade. I don't think the Vikings have ever said like we're shopping Kirk or we think
You had
about
a-
it. Like they're not rid of him unless they're terrible.
You had a
don't
perfect
really think-
chance to say malarkey right there, and you just passed.
I don't think Kurt's the problem on that team. So
Well,
Definitely
I do see rougher times ahead. Of course, he's had 32 or 33 33 points followed by 28. But then you have at Carolina. Kansas City's defense is much better than we thought. A good matchup at Chicago, but then San Francisco, Green Bay, at Atlanta. We don't know about that pass defense, and then New Orleans. So it's going to be. I think at the end of this stretch, he might be definitely probably outside the top 8 QBs. Ooh, a little bit of predictions.
But has he not been a QB1 since he's been at Minnesota every single year? Top 12 fantasy quarterback.
If you take his, that'd be interesting to do his career in Minnesota, and you see where all the QBs in that span.
Even in Washington, he was probably a top 15, top 12 quarterback for a few years.
Well, see, I always have him fixated as number 16 because we always talk about him being the perfectly average quarterback.
I mean, that
would be interesting. I would think that he probably, I mean, all the quarterbacks in that time frame, I would think that he probably would be a top 12 in that time span.
Every year.
You got to think all the ones that drop off, fall on,
I got to ask a question. Talking about this game, is there any coach that is worse than Brandon Staley right now with his decisions?
Chargers, my God.
And it pains me.
Brett Love.
Fourth and 1.
It pains me.
4th and 1, 2 minutes to go on their own. What was it, the 24-yard line?
Yeah, I mean,
never seen it.
He's an idiot.
He's doing everything for the most part, everything I always talk about doing. Like, keep the punter off, keep the field goal kickers off the field as much as you can. But some of these, it's like, whoa, dude, too far.
I mean, I think he's the extreme of Dan Campbell. Like, he just takes it to another level, just going for it all the time. But
I think he's just tired of coaching once fired. I mean, I don't know why else you do something like that. He's like, I'm done with this. I'm taking my millions. I'm going home.
What were the Vikings? And then the Vikings just one up them at the end of that game. Like,
you knew that game was going to have crazies. That matchup was the new Lions-Falcons. It's going to have some crazy nonsense happen that makes no sense. I mean, this is what it is. Now, interesting thing, Mike Williams goes down for the year. The only Elkview River Rat inside the top 100 of the wide receiver rankings.
This is true.
It's not a joke. It's statistical fact. So, question for you guys. I think we know the obvious answer for long term, but for the rest of this season, it's basically the same question we do all the time. Would you rather have Joshua Palmer or Quentin Johnson for this season?
Easy.
I don't know what that means. Which one is your pick?
Yeah, he said easy.
Said I'm taking Palmer.
Oh, okay. We didn't
that Dunbar internet, man. Those tin cans and string. It might be raining outside.
I would agree with that, just from the standpoint, Herbert is, he's familiar with.
All we heard was the smile. Easy.
Yeah, that's all we heard. Easy. We're like, what? Well.
Right. I think Palmer's the new Jason Avant. I swear to God. I think I watched all these different leagues throw so much money at this guy, except it wouldn't have happened in the KDFL. I can almost promise you. If he was available, it wouldn't have been no 1/5. No, I'm talking the money I saw. I saw 50, 60% of FAD budgets for him.
Wow.
I think
I've been too public about him, and I think I've talked. I think I've talked way too much about him, which means his spotlight's on him. That he has not blown the doors off the place when he gets this opportunity, and because it's Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, he always gets this opportunity. So,
yeah, but is either one of them going to be there next year? What's their contracts?
No, they're both out. That's the only reason.
Is Quentin Johnson good? I don't know. I assume he is, but the door's wide open.
We're gonna find out.
It's a little worrisome that he only got like 3 snaps, something like that, or 3 targets, something like that. 3 targets.
3 targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Williams didn't go down until late in that game.
Yeah.
I think it matters. I think it matters your team situation. I mean, it's pretty obvious what you're looking at. If you need to, do some high risk, you would go Johnston. If you need steady as you go, 8 to 11 points a game, you would go Palmer. I mean, I guess that's
they're
somewhat obvious.
different types of receivers, aren't they? Palmer's more of an outside guy. I don't really know about Quentin Johnson.
Listen, I gotta say this on a little bit different subject here. Justin Herbert gets bashed in here lately. The guy
Doesn't get bashed. That's so unfair.
Yes, he does. He went 40 for 47 for 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's
great. Wow, I didn't see the completion percentage. That's crazy.
He doesn't get bashed. I just stopped trying to give this man so many hypothetical trophies.
I think what happened to Herbert was he came in early. No one was expecting him to. He started throwing for all these crazy yards. A lot of us started falling in love with the guy because he has this big arm. Then we have this one guy who's anti anything AFC West that just wants to call everybody trash, no matter if they're good or not. So I do think the hype for him got a little bit, but I also think his coach doesn't help him.
Brett's big brain. Part of the reason why we love him so much is because we've been dying for an Oregon quarterback to finally be good.
Yeah.
They routinely are stat fillers and they're never good. And now they are.
I never think of Oregon quarterbacks.
Jerry Harrington? You don't think of Jerry Harrington? You gonna tell me?
That's like the only other Oregon quarterback I can think of.
He left scars. We were young men at the time, molded, ready.
Brett just had one last year, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about him.
Preach it, Tim.
There's been a few for sure.
You know what's funny? If you look at my eyes when George's saying that, you can see me racing. Like, I know there's more than just Jerry Harrington. And I couldn't pull him. And it was Marcus Mariota.
What's his name? I can't think of his name either.
Dennis Dixon.
Yeah.
Was that it?
And there's one more even before that.
Oh man,
that was a reach.
Yeah. All right. We have touched on the Jet situation. I'm just going to go past it. I don't think. Well, we need that. Yeah, do we care about the Jets? I mean, whatever. No. I think Zach Wilson's done. I think Salah is going to. Aaron Rodgers getting hurt wasn't going to cost him his job. How he's handling this could cost him his job. If that makes sense. Because this, you might the locker room.
Both of them.
Yeah, don't you fire Joe Douglas, Tim. I want you to come at my GM.
If you start, no, I didn't mean them. I mean like the situation. Aaron Rodgers getting hurt and how he's playing.
Well, yeah.
But if you start Trevor Siemian, you're getting fired. You and Hackett both are done.
The idea that that's the help. I mean,
you start it. You're done. You're done.
All right, we're going to zoom through these on the bottom here. Ken Walker appears to be Zach Charbonnet's dynasty value is plummeting right now because Ken Walker continues to impress. That actually turned out to be a pretty fun game between the Panthers and the Seahawks. Obviously, the Panthers' offense is going to look better with Dalton at the helm right now, but I don't think they can keep going back to it. Like, you have to keep Bryce Young in. You have to see what we have.
Was that obvious?
I don't say
it was obvious that they were going to be better with Dalton.
No, I said they looked better.
But yeah.
Did I say it was obvious it was going to be?
Yeah,
I may have worded it wrong. Sorry. I mean, obviously they look better.
Thank you for calling them out on that, Tim.
Oh,
Yeah, I was shocked by that game. I thought the Seahawks were going to pound them by 20.
Yeah.
We want to talk about getting pounded.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about another shocking game. Tim, I heard this reference today, and it made me ponder a little bit. Are the Cowboys what Lou Holtz was talking about? Are they SAWFT soft? And when you get punched in the mouth by a tougher defense,
that's
they may fold
soft.
up. That's how I learned to spell it.
Oh.
I would not agree with that. I think it was just a terrible start. It was the Cardinals. They thought they were going to walk in and beat the out of them, and it didn't happen. They were losing 10-0 or 9-0 in the first quarter. and they didn't make the adjustments in the second half. I was shocked that I thought for sure they'd still end up beating them by 14, just because it was the Cardinals. But
I mean, they
Kaiser
lost.
White said no, sir.
No.
Are you nervous at all, Tim?
That was a pretty nervous result. That I wasn't until that game. But
I mean, especially the first
No,
two games, you guys looked really good. And
yeah,
then you come back to reality a little bit.
maybe so. I'm hoping that was more fluke than reality, but that was pretty. It was an eye opener for sure. So we'll see if they bounce back this week.
Oh man, you've got Patriots and Niners back.
Oh,
to
it's
back.
not great. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
Upcoming.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are obviously beatable. The Niners,
Yeah, I do too. They do have a good defense.
From a fantasy
Just-
standpoint, though, it could be ugly, is the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could be a defensive game, but
Because you have Christian Gonzalez saying he's shadowing CD Lamb. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
sounds like Jake's gonna be eating this week.
Yeah. I would like to see him selfishly let Dak, throw it more. Unload the
Or
offense
even
a little bit
run.
more. Right, he's not gonna. He's done after
Yeah,
that ankle. I think
run.
he's done. I think he's done with it.
That ankle,
I really do.
fine. It's
Yep.
probably stronger than it used to be. Just have
After
some
he had
faith,
that
Dak.
Tony Romo sprain, or he rolled it. What did Tony say?
Grant. I hope it's
It's
just a
cramp.
Grant.
Yeah, cramp. That's what it's cramps. It's dangling. It's not. Okay, my last thing from the 4 o'clocks. We're going to be the only podcast not to focus on a famous singer in the
Yes.
stands of a Chiefs game. But I will say this: the Bears. I have a case. Do not give up on Justin Fields yet for this fantasy season. Listen to these next 5 games. Sorry, next 5 games. Denver, the defense is trash now. We've learned they just got torched for 70. The cornerbacks are not what we thought. At Washington, that's a beatable defense through the air. Minnesota's terrible through the air. You can beat them. Las Vegas, another scoreable defense for a quarterback, and the Chargers. We just saw Kirk Cousins light him up. He's got to run. We know Fields has to run, but those Bears options these next 5 weeks, you're going to know exactly what you got by the end of them, you would think.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to give up on him in the middle of the season. They're going to play it out and see. how they
From a
do.
fantasy standpoint, I'm talking about your own team.
Fantasy.
Well, I mean, why would you give up on him? I mean, he's going to play the entire year.
Because he had 10 points last week.
Yeah.
He hasn't outscored. He hasn't got more than 15. He's got 14.5, 13-7, and 10-6.
Well,
And the rushing floor that you thought you had isn't there yet. He's not doing it. He's not running.
And Brett said a couple things there. You could throw on Minnesota. You could throw on. I'm not.
I
really
did
sure
keep
why he
saying
said
that.
Because I don't
They're
know that he's
favorable
throwing on-
quarterback matchups is what I
Throwing
meant.
in
Weapons.
Once again, I love Tim calling him out for his.
I got
stupidness.
going on it. You could throw, and it got away from me.
And I know it makes sense. Like it might be easier than what he's had, but has 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions so far. So he's thrown interceptions and he touchdowns.
Okay, let me ask you guys this question since we're talking about Justin Fields. And this goes back to one of our teams in the KDFL, everybody. The Marmette Midnight Riders, who have Justin Fields on their team. Would you keep him in the lineup over Baker Mayfield?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not giving up on him fantasy wise. He's gonna run. I mean, that's all he's got to do. Run.
Okay.
But
Baker's
the Midnight
Justin Fields
Riders
plays. Justin
have
Fields
recently-
plays. Okay, Justin Fields plays the Jets, and Baker Mayfield plays the Titans.
Yeah.
That's the
I like
extremes.
Baker's what I like Baker's weapons.
What would you
a
do
lot.
there?
Who's the Bears? Who'd you say?
The Bears will play the Jets. I'm just throwing out a great defense,
Mm,
and the
I thought you were-
Bucks will get the Titans. Who would you go with right there?
I might go Baker. I mean, he's got Godwin.
That's
and
disgusting.
Evans and-
But it
what's
is.
the update? I just heard an ESPN update.
It could be anything.
What was it?
Detroit.
Oh, sorry.
Lightning and Predators have started.
Nice.
Hockey's back, baby.
Hey, Red
Oh, you
Wings
heard
beat
Tim's
the Red Wings beat the Penguins last night.
There we go.
I
Hockey's back, boys.
Woo! Let's go.
mean, I'm sitting on the champ, so I don't understand I'm excited. All right. That's all I have.
Let me ask you guys this question real quick. For viewing purposes, would you rather your team play the 1:00 game or the 4:30 game?
I want the 4s. I know what you're saying. I'm on board with you. I want the 4s.
The Cowboys have had 2 4s and an 8 so far. The Cowboys. It's been great.
See, the Lions have always notoriously just had 1:00 games.
Same here, obviously.
I was gonna say, I think I would with, hey, Beth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The Queen is in the house.
The Queen. I would agree.
Hey, before we go too far, Mike recently acquired Justin Fields and Najee Harris for some first-round picks and some draft capital, and they are both looking unbelievable.
The evil empire got out of Justin Fields' mess, got CJ Stroud, and it's just he can't keep getting away with this. To quote the famous Breaking Bad.
And Derrick Henry. He traded
and got rid of Derrick Henry at the perfect time. But everybody saw it. Everybody in the world saw that one coming. If you didn't see that one coming, come on. I mean, it's still early.
Why you're turning this conversation into evil empire, but we're talking about the Midnight Riders.
Yeah.
Giving up some big for 2 players that might not play next year.
Yeah, well, he can trade
Jalen Warren has looked.
He can trade one of those wide receivers and get somebody.
Yeah, he could get a lot of people with those wide receivers.
Yeah. All right.
That 5 looking great.
Yeah, it did.
I have some other stuff, and we can save to next week. Evaluating Puka Nacua, do the what if trades. Only last thing I want to do about the NFL is are you pro or con the tush push for the Eagles? Do you think it should be banned?
No, get better,
you
soft turds.
I don't know.
How do you ban a play like that?
No, I know what you're saying, and I can't believe I'm going to say.
I heard the argument that What
did you hear the Nick Wright argument?
No, I didn't. This is great. You heard Nick Wright, and I didn't. That was to be amazing. Yeah. Is it that the defense can't do it?
No, he thinks that they should ban it too, but he's saying, what if it was every I know right now they're only getting 1 or 2 yards. If they perfected it to every play was 4 or 5 yards, do you think the NFL would stop it? Because I think the only
thing they could stop is you can't stop him from sneaking. I think the only thing you could stop is they can't push him. Because that really is.
They used to be.
The defensive players can't do it.
They changed it. The linemen can't do it now, right?
But
I know you can't pull them. I know a lineman can't pull the running back.
You can't pull them. But I thought back in the day that offensive linemen could not come down the field and just push you. But they do that all the time now anyway. So I don't know. It's one of those. I'm with you guys. You got to learn how to stop it. But
the cycle in baseball, I think that should be. I agree that should have been banned because they're not even playing their position at that point.
The shift. I'm like the cycle.
Not the cycle.
Hey, the shift, because they're not even in their positions. If you're a third baseman and you're playing at second or shortstop, that's not your position.
But why? Why can't you just learn to hit the ball the other way?
I always thought that too.
It's just because they don't
like it. But
baseball sucks and it's not that. So we need the run.
Because why can't? It sounds so. I'm over my skis talking about stuff I don't know, but the defense. Obviously, why can't they just mirror it? Why can't they mirror it, but they can't push him?
I don't know. And
he could pull it and throw it. It's a thing though. No other team is going to risk this though. They said. This is part of my take. They said Stroud did it last week, and he was like, "No, not doing that again. I'm getting pushed. I'm in the middle of a pile. I'm getting destroyed. They just happen to have a great O line and a great quarterback that can bench or squat the world, so they were able to do it. You think Jared Goff's doing that?
No, I lean towards not banning it.
No, sure. I think it's a fad, and you'll adjust to it.
It's Jalen Hurts. His legs are crazy strong. Tom Brady, I don't think is that strong, but he was crazy successful with it. It's coming. So either put more people in the box or just do better. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's and I'll save some stuff in the old canister for future player evaluations. But I would just like to let you all know that in 1934, the Portsmouth Spartans become the Detroit Lions. Radio executive George Richards led a group that bought the team and moved them to Detroit. They were named the Lions in recognition of Detroit Tigers team, and because the Lions were the monarch, shout out Kings, of the jungle. Richards had aspirations of his team being the jungle leaders.
Please tell me you have the fact that's coming up when the William Clay Ford bought the Lions.
I do not have any fact about William Clay Ford.
Okay.
You can go ahead and share it now.
William Clay Ford bought the Detroit Lions the same day that JFK was assassinated.
I mean, these are positive. Dick.
It's rigged.
All right. Real quick, KDFL, we only had one trade this week. He finally got one through, ladies and gentlemen. The Kings, in their endless effort to package and bundle garbage, got one out. They send running back Zach Moss, running back Kareem Hunt, and a Renegades 2024 fourth. I thought there was another fourth in there. Is there not?
My fourth and his fourth.
Oh, okay.
Kings 4th and Renegades 4th.
All right. 4. Gamblers 2024 second. I don't know what to say about this trade. I mean, I like the second side. I just gotta be honest.
Yep, especially when it comes to the 1 and 2 gamblers. The preseason 9th ranked team will be a lottery pick, probably. I've already got their first pick for Marvin Mims, which is
so you're looking at a top 18 pick right here, 13 to 18. You're thinking.
Yep, so that's pretty solid.
So the Kings own the gamblers' first 2 round picks.
Yes, I do.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, the Kings do.
What's happening in our world right now?
5 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. The Kings are getting deep.
I can't wait. Mark this. Go ahead, Short.
He's not going to pick all 5 of those first-round picks. I guarantee he turns one of those into some good players.
Mark this down. Yeah. Brett still said it on September 27th. Wait till the Kings are paralyzed with the decisions they have to make of start setting. I have mediocre depth at wide receiver, and I haven't got one right yet. So,
buddy, when you win games, you don't really care how many points your bench scores. So I'm not going to be worried about how good my bench players are. You all need to be worried about how many 2025 first round picks you're going to be offering me for these guys when you see them wasting away on the Kings bench.
I love the trash talk. Nice.
Let me get this up. I'm going to get this up because by popular demand, we're trying something this week where we are going to share the screen as we go into KDFL Week 4 predictions. Let me know when we can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Are we on a roll? Okay. Let me get what I have to go over. We will start.
Terrible.
What?
Terrible projections. Oh, okay. We moved on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm making sure it looks good. All right. So just give a little couple of things you're looking forward to in these matchups. We will start with Tim as the guest host, and we are going to start our games in Cross Vegas with the 1 and 2 gamblers hosting the 3-0 and Bretsville Darling Roxalana Renegades. Take it away, Tim.
The polo yard sale division is rough. God. The Roxalana Renegades 3-0. There's not much to say about this. I think it's going to be a pretty good blowout. But the only thing I think is I hope Nick mentioned it the other night with Aiden O'Connell. I hope he has some patience with my boy McCorkle because he's going to need it. And he has a guy in his starting lineup on the IR. You can see it right there. So I think it's going to be a 42-point win by the Renegades. Next.
Yeah, look at this matchup. I'm intrigued by the Tua going up against Buffalo. Buffalo does technically have the number 2 defense in the league, and they're also only giving up 142 yards a game in the air. It's going to be cool to see that matchup. Renegades heavy favorites, like Tim said, so I'm going to just take them. I think the Gamblers, I think Brett predicted this was on the way down at the beginning of the season.
right.
Didn't you say that?
Sure I did. Yeah.
A lot of it,
Yeah,
we all
sounds right. So
nine.
it sounds like me. Yeah, ranked 9.
Wow,
All right,
that's
so we got 2 for the Renegades there. We can go ahead and make it 3. Now, let me throw a great stat out for you guys. These
There
are
we go.
2 tight ends. Tell me what these stats mean to you. The first one averages 3.5 catches a game, 47 yards, 0.07 of a touchdown, and 8.4 PPR points. The other one averages 9 catches, 120 yards, 1 touchdown per game, and 27 points. Who are those 2 tight ends? Well, that is domestic Kyle Pitts and London Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts' first career touchdown came in London. He goes back, his first and only of his rookie season touchdown. He goes back this week. So I'm looking to see if Kyle Pitts can get it done. He's not even in the Renegade starting lineup right
He's
now.
not in
It's a
the
travesty. Get him in there, Renegades. Go, Kyle Pitts, go. Next up.
Time to bench T. Higgins, buddy.
Hey, or drops a lot, T. Higgins. Next up, we will go to Wake Forest as the Lumberjacks are ailing after their first loss of the season. Gotta make sure I click it. And they are hosting the 2-1 Elkview River Rats. Now I just realized both teams coming off their first loss of the season. Tim, take it away.
Yeah, they're both coming off first loss of the season. Detroit's a lot more rough than Phil's, which we all saw coming, I think. The Lumberjacks offense is pretty solid. I kind of like them more than the River Rats, but the River Rats defense might double up the Lumberjacks defense. They're not very good. It doesn't look like over there. So I got a 19-point win for the River Rats.
I love the specific scores.
Yes, I do too. Yes, I'm traveling south to take on the Lumberjacks and our stat guy Phil over there. As you can see with these wide receivers, I mean, they're just pitiful. I only have 2 in the lineup. I don't even know if one of them is going to play. Christian Watson, that's a game time decision for later. With that said, I do think the defense is going to carry me. I'm starting to get worried about Damian Pierce, guys. Texans
You should have been worried about that a long time ago.
Yeah, well, he was a rookie last year. He looked pretty good as a rookie.
Cinderella last year.
Yeah. He's only averaging 2.5 yards a carry. So who knows how long that's going to last. That said, I got to pick myself. Sorry, Phil. Sorry, Phil.
Looking at this, we did see Puka Nacua still had a good game. He didn't have these astronomical numbers, but we knew those wouldn't continue. It's the main thing I'm looking at in this game is what we talked about earlier in the show. Quentin Johnston, I know it's early. I know it's his first game without Mike Williams in there. It's a juicy matchup with the Raiders. So let's see what Quentin Johnson does with this first opportunity. But I am also going with the River Rats. Now, next.
River Rats starting the 122nd and 164th ranked wide receiver.
Hey, Christian Watson. Neither of them have barely played. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love
Watson hasn't even played.
Yeah, Watson hasn't played. Next, we go with the red hot, the talk of the KDFL, not you, Herb, the 3-0 St. Albans Sinners hosting the 1-2 Kanawha County Kings. Tim, do you think you have enough to pull off this dub?
He's had 3 soft SAWFT wins.
I'm one of them.
So far, these projections are pretty wild. This is going to be a good game, but the Kings are going to pap smear the Sinners all over the field this upcoming week. The Sinners' chances of beating the Kings are lighter than my complexion. It's just not going to happen. Congratulations, Renegades, because you are now the only undefeated team. Welcome to the loss column, Sinners. 27-point wins by the Kings. Next.
Wow.
Well,
all right.
Phenomenal.
Looking at Tim's team, I think Josh Jacobs has got to get it going eventually. Tim's team is it's on the way up. We've all agree on that. And he's right. The Sinners have had some very soft wins.
I mean,
That's SOFT.
sitting right here.
He's number one in scoring though, but he's also number one against giving up points, meaning he's given up the least. So
Thanks
will
for
that
clearing that
stand
up.
this week? I don't know. Unfortunately, Tim, I'm gonna have to pick against you. I'm going with the Sinners.
Welcome to the loss column, Detroit.
I was perfect. I was perfect last week, buddy.
You got to lose eventually.
All right, let me see. I'm looking at this. The main thing I have written down is these matchups in this game are not good all the way around, especially when you look at Cousins getting the heavy pass defense of the Panthers. I don't like Olave getting Tampa Bay, and I don't like Mike Evans getting New Orleans. A lot of more is historically given Mike Evans fits. And simply put, because of special guest hosts, doing it for the first time this season, I'm mixing up the pick I had earlier just because Detroit went Sinners. I am going with my Dunbar brethren and taking the Kings to get the dub.
You're only winning with them because it's Dunbar.
You didn't even mention the terrible Terry McLaurin matchup. The Eagles are going to sack him 27 times.
He's not a quarterback.
They're going to absolutely crush the NFL record.
He's saying he's not going to get the ball
off. Time to look at McLaurin.
Okay.
When you say him, I mean, shout out Conrad Podcast, pronouns, pal. We need to know who him is, Mr. Howe.
Oh, yeah. How? I mean, you're not going to need to know. He's going to be on his back all the time.
It's going to be erased from memory.
I hope you know what number he wears because you won't be able to see his name.
All right. Next up, we have a very sad situation developing indeed as my 0-3 Melbourne Mega Powers, the victim of circumstance in this young season, traveling to Dogtown, taking on the 1-2 Dobermans. Tim, take it away.
With the way those receivers perform, Burrow, Allen, CMC, and Pittman will probably outscore the entire Mega Powers offense. But they should bounce back. And I think this one's going to be pretty close in the end. Both defenses are very good. I'm going to go with a 6-point win by the Dobermans.
Oh, he doesn't return the favor to you.
It wasn't a favor, Herb.
Yeah. Anyways, what stands out to me in this matchup is definitely for the Mega Powers is your boy Calvin Ridley. Started out the season with 24 points in week 1. Since then, he's only scored 5 and 7. Maybe they'll be able to find him over there in London so we can get double digits. The Dobermans, they got Miles Sanders banged up. He just has too much offensive power, Brett. So, unfortunately, I think this one's going to be a blowout. Dobermans by 25. See, now Tim's got me doing
blowout.
There we go.
Okay, so in looking at this, obviously, we need Anthony Richardson back in there. Dak has not been putting up the numbers that we've been wanting. Deshaun Watson looked better last week. The main thing I'm watching, though, is I'm extremely nervous about Joe Burrow getting that Tennessee defense. I think he can put up some monster points, and I need to inspire the team. I've been coddling them too long, so I'm going to go against them, and I'm going to take the Dobermans to get the win to hopefully light a spark in the Mega Powers to get on the win column. Need some tough love every once in a while. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if the owner picking against you lights a spark or just completely lose the
could lose the locker room in Melbourne. All right. Next, we have the Thunder Buddy Bowl as the Evil Empire are traveling to Marmette to take on the Midnight Riders. A great thing about this is the first time the Evil Empire have been underdogs since I can't remember when in a matchup. Let's go ahead and throw it up on the big board. Look at those projections, fellas. Take it away, Tim.
Welcome to the year of 5 wide for the Midnight Riders. You've never seen anything like it, and you might not ever see anything like it again. The Evil Empire is decimated right now with 5 or 6 starters injured on the IR. Might not be coming back anytime soon. And it's just too much to overcome. I mean, this is they're juggernauts over there in Marmette. So I'm going with a 51-point win.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The linebackers, I mean, the running backs for the South Hills and the linebackers, we're praying for miracles over there.
Well, I have to say that, the evil umpire, we got to admit, the guy's the greatest commish in all of fantasy sports.
Absolutely.
He's on the ball all the time. He's won 3 out of the last 4. Just an overall great guy.
First
However,
ballot Hall of Famer.
yes. However, I hope this guy never wins a game again.
Get him.
As my one saying that I always say, if the evil empire was going against Al Qaeda, I would be rooting for Al Qaeda. let's just be in it here.
Somebody clip that.
We're just tired of this guy winning. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. I love you, Jeremy, but I actually, saying all that, I do definitely think this is Midnight Riders' game. Justin Fields is going against Denver's defense, so I'm sure he can get some points this week. I think this is actually, Tim's kind of right. I think it's going to be an easy one for the Midnight Riders. Yeah, I said it.
With all that being said, Detroit is a huge Tom Brady fan, but he's tired of the evil empire.
Yeah, imagine.
Tim, you're not supposed to call me out of my crap. Only Brad.
All right. I'm looking at this now. One thing that the evil empire don't have situated in their lineup is Austin Eckler did return limited practice, so that could be a huge upgrade. You're looking right now at about a 15-point increase in projections if he would bench Elijah Mitchell for him. The main thing I'm watching, though, is the hot seat on one Najee Harris. It keeps ramping up. You hear more and more people calling for Jaylen Warren. I agree with what Tim said earlier. It would be a travesty if these offseason moves resulted in negative impact with Fields and Najee. So I do have the Midnight Riders getting the win. I do have it closer than you guys do. I think it's inside 15 points. All right. Now,
let me tell you what the Midnight Riders gave up for Fields and Najee. He got Fields, Najee, in a 2025 third. He gave up a 2024 first, a 2025 first, a 2024 second, Tyler Algier, Austin Eckler, and Jalen
Andre. Oh, don't talk about it.
Ooh.
We know my love for Jalen Hyatt.
So, if Fields and Najee Harris don't turn it around and start doing something, I really want Najee Harris to turn it around because I'm obviously a Pickett owner and a lover.
Right.
My God.
I love her. Really, though, when you look at these two teams, this is Rams and Patriots. Like, this is the Midnight Riders are the prime example of the F them picks strategy that the Rams did. They haven't picked first since Jefferson. Yeah. Zach Wilson we don't talk about, but they haven't picked successfully first since Jefferson. So it really is an all or nothing build throughout the trade market strategy that the Midnight Riders have pursued. And of course, the evil empire are the Pats with the dynasty run. So we'll see in this Thunder Buddy Bowl who comes out on top. Now, in our game of the week, it was an interesting choice for game of the week. We talked through this before we realized that one of the game of the week GMs would be vacant for this show. But these two teams joined the league in 2019. It's now their 5th season in the league with different versions of success. It's the 1-2 Zen Masters and the 1-2 Wampus Cats. Zen Masters have 2 bronze medals. I believe it was their first two seasons in the league. Wampus Cats have 1 playoff appearance, and that was a quick first round exit, but they are widely regarded as one of the league's favorite teams and on the come up. So, Tim, this is basically the Jaguars and the Panthers. I'm going to keep using NFL analogies. Jaguars and the Panthers matchup 5 years ago, revisited. What say you in this matchup in our week 4 game of the week?
That's a lot of green check marks on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. My God. That's every single offensive player. Wow.
Every offensive, and go ahead and throw a linebacker on top.
Not much to say here, man. Zen Masters need at least 150 points from his defense to even have a chance to win this. Minimum. He might need 200 points from his defense to be in this. King Henry has been super sus, as the kids say.
Oh,
And
he just dropped
it's not looking good. Super sus. And the Cats just acquired former King workhorse, 25-year-old Zach Moss, for some depth on that team. They knew they needed the depth. Might not need it this week. 77-point win for the Wampus Cats.
Wampus Cats.
Oh, nice. I like that. Yeah, I was looking at this, and you touched on how he doesn't have one check mark for his offensive players. So it got me wondering, and I went and looked it up. You guys know Matt doesn't have a first-round pick next year or the year after?
Who has the 2025 first-round pick?
I do. Remember the little if
yes,
it wasn't in the top.
So almost like I set it up for you.
Okay, my bad. So
who has the 2024 pick?
Yeah.
You?
So
do people on this game have the Zen Masters next year first round picks?
Yeah. I believe so.
Tim does. I'm pretty sure Tim does.
I have mine, the Wampus Cats, the Lumberjacks, the Zen Masters, and the Gamblers. First round pick.
I would have never allowed this to happen had I known.
I don't know.
I'm not sure any of those teams are going to make the play.
I don't think. I hate to point this out since he's not on the podcast this week, but I don't know what the strategy is here. I know he got Lamar and Trevor, and that's what he wanted, but things might be rough for a few years. With that said, obviously I'm going the Renegades. Easy.
Well, maybe the Wampus Cats. Renegades were the first game we picked.
I'm sorry. Wampus Cats. My bad.
There we go. Okay.
Can't you just edit that out?
The confidence you said it with, I had to hit on the confidence. It's almost like you did the lean back in the chair after you
just silence him until he says easy, just like y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Look, there's only really one thing. The Wampus Cats shored up the 2QB thing I was worried about pretty easily with adding Geno Smith last week out of fear of the mega powers. I get it. But the main thing I'm looking for in this, we just saw Devon Achane run all over the Broncos, and I think we might see it again with Roschon Johnson possibly taking over the role in Chicago from the uninspiring Khalil Herbert. So that's the main thing I'm watching from this matchup. That being said, it's just too much firepower on the offensive side for the Wampus Cats right now. Give me Hurricane in the victory. So there it is.
That could be a scary running back group next year.
Yep. And now I bring us back full screen. There it is, boys. So, Tim, I'm going to pass it to you for sign off and give me your lock and your upset of the week and any last words you may have.
Don't have a lot of last words and definitely don't have a signature sign off, but I'm going to go with the Bears to get the upset this week. I don't even remember who they're playing. We just talked about it though.
Denver.
The Broncos. Terrible. And then I'm gonna take the Eagles -8 over the Redskins.
Commanders.
Or the football team. Or the Commanders.
Nope.
Or the Red
There
Wolves.
you go. Red Hogs.
All right.
Kings out.
All right. As I always say, I will give you my picks. I don't condone gambling.
Oh my God,
that's bad. Save your money for your family. Don't do this. It could be an addiction. With that said, my upset is the Panthers over the Vikings. Sorry, superfan Keith. And my lock of the week is over 41 in the Bengals Titans game. So I'm going to say for Phil, my stat guy, me up there, Brett, you suck. See y'all next week.
All right. And to wrap us up here, I am going with the Bills giving 3 to the Dolphins the Bills are at home. It feels like a rat line after the Dolphins just put up 70. So I'm thinking they're going to want everybody to put their money on Miami. So I'm taking the Bills. And for my upset, I'm going back to what my week 1 upset was. Somehow, some way, the Chargers are crazy. I think the Raiders are going to get the victory over the Chargers. And the stealing money parlay this week is a little bit more interesting. We're going to hit some totals here. So we're going to go Tampa Bay and New Orleans under 50.5. I like Detroit's pick with Cincinnati and Tennessee, but I'm going to juice that down to over 30.5, and we're going to take the Chiefs to get a money line victory over the Jets. Parlay that up, minus 128 for the stealing money parlay. So for our special guest host, Kings GM, Mr. Tim McCarthy, for Elkview Riverettes GM, Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes, I'm Brett Steele, and we will see you here next week on the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast.